You hated that job. The alarm at 6. The same gray commute. 8 hours a day building something with your name nowhere on it. For a guy whose name was on everything. But you stayed, month after month, putting a little aside. And after all those years of patience, what you'd actually managed to save was almost embarrassing. Barely enough to start anything. Didn't matter. You'd already decided. Whatever came next, it was going to be yours. The only thing you really knew how to make was sausages. Nothing fancy. Anybody can grill a sausage. But you took on the debt. You waited months on the permits, and one cold morning you finally slid open the window of one small second-hand truck. And that truck? You'd never be that free again. You just had no way of knowing it yet. Because this isn't a story about a business that failed. It's about a business that worked and quietly stopped being yours while you were too busy celebrating to notice. There's one number nobody tracks. Not revenue, not locations, not followers. How much of it you actually own. And from the day you decide to grow, that number only ever moves one way. Down? Those first months, you know every regular by name. You know exactly what's in the register, down to the coin, because you're the one who put it there. Every dollar that comes in comes to you. You own 100% of everything. Every decision, every recipe, every dumb risk you talked yourself into. It's terrifying. One bad month and it's gone, but it's clean. Nobody to answer to. You are the business, and the business is you. People will tell you this is the bottom, the thing you're supposed to escape as fast as you can. They're wrong. This is the only level where the answer to who owns this is just you. Remember that. You'll want it back later. Then it works. So you want walls, a real kitchen, seats people can sit in. But a building costs way more than a truck ever did. So you walk into a bank and you sign. And just like that, you don't own the restaurant. You own the right to pay for it. The bank owns the rest, sitting in the background, right up until the day you miss. You still call yourself the owner. You're just the owner who picked up a silent partner who never sleeps. One restaurant becomes two. You can't stand in two kitchens at once, so you hire a manager, a second chef who's honestly a little better than you. And one night, locking up, it hits you. You haven't cooked anything in 3 months. The thing you started because you loved making food, you don't make food anymore. You make schedules. You make payroll. You make other people's problems disappear before they reach the dining room. You didn't lose the business. The business just outgrew the part of it that used to be you. 2 becomes 5. And 5 needs money you don't have. Real money, the kind that arrives with a person on the other side of a table who smiles and says, "I'll fund your growth," for a piece. So you do the math everyone does at this level. 40% of something enormous beats 100% of something small. And that math is right. It's also the exact moment you stop being the owner and turn into the largest shareholder instead. 2 titles that sound identical until the day the others vote and you lose. You just sold the truck. You only kept the keys. Now the brand is hot, and someone offers you the fastest growth that exists. Let other people open your restaurant in their city with their money. Franchising. You stop building stores. You start selling the right to be you. And it explodes. 100 locations. Then 500. Your logo glowing in cities you have never set foot in. But look hard at what you actually own now. Not the restaurants. The franchisees own those. Not the buildings, not the fryers, not the staff. You own a name, a book of recipes, and a contract that pays you a thin slice of somebody else's 14-hour day. You are everywhere. And you can't walk into a single one of them and honestly call it yours. And then you make it. The thing every level was secretly for. A global chain. A boardroom with your name on the wall. A valuation with a comma in it you used to say out loud just to hear how it sounded. But there's a board now, filled with the people who came in at level 4 and level 5, each one holding a piece you handed over to get this high. Add every piece up, and the founder, you, is left owning a sliver of the empire that wears your name. And I'll be straight with you here, because what comes next sounds like a movie, but it has happened to real founders more than once. One day the board looks at the numbers, then looks at you, and decides the company would be worth more without the person who built it. They can vote you out of your own name, and they have. You own an empire, you own none of it. So go back to the truck. One window, one menu, every dollar yours. The level every single person told you to escape. That was it. That was the one and only time you ever fully owned the thing you built. Every level after it was the same quiet trade, wrapped up to look like a victory, a little more reach, for a little less of it being yours. Growth was never the reward. Growth was the price. And the worst part, nobody ever feels it happen. There's no alarm that goes off the day your name stops being yours. Just bigger numbers, louder applause, and a slow, invisible handover that you signed yourself. One yes at a time. Remember the boss you ran from? The man whose name was on everything? The one you swore you'd never answer to again? Look around that boardroom. You answer to every one of them now. Same cage. You just spent your whole life building this one yourself. So before you climb another inch, ask yourself what nobody at the top ever says out loud. When you finally own everything, who's going to own you? This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always consult a qualified financial professional before making any financial decisions.